Hello and welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope that you all are well and you're having a nice time. So I'm back with another video, and in this one I'll be running you through the wildcard draft for Game Week 9. I'll be talking about the picks that I could have gone for if I was using my wildcard. Now, I already used my wildcard in Game Week 7, and that was obviously the resurrection for me after the awful rank that you can see I got in Game Week 6, which was somewhere around 3.2 million, and it was obviously a very disappointing one, and you can say the worst rank so far this season. Now, obviously on your screen is a DRAFTHOUND planner, and you can get access to this by clicking on the link below. You will be redirected towards their platform, and once you go there, you can get all these options like the assistant manager, player rankings, fixture analysis, player comparison, and predicted lineups. And even if you click on the home side, you can see that there is an AI suggesting you top transfers, suggesting you different suggestions, and obviously I have got 2 free transfers, so it is suggesting me according to that. You can get you can plan your moves ahead with all this, with the expected points available. So we will be using all that in this video and looking at things and all the features, and you can get a hold of this by clicking on the link below and signing up on their website. There are the free features and obviously the premium ones, and you can choose them according to your need. Now, secondly, I am thankful again for all the people that have subscribed and all of you who tune in every week to watch the videos that I post, and you can give me suggestions. Let me know how I can make these videos better and what more content I could make that would obviously fascinate you and would and you guys would enjoy. And obviously, if you have not subscribed to the channel already, please do that and help me reach like 1500 subs sooner. Obviously, it is a very high goal, but that is what I have currently in mind. That is the goal I have in my mind, and obviously you guys can help me achieve that, and that would be helpful for the channel, as I can get more and more audience to tune in, and the broader audience would obviously be helping the channel grow. Now, the agenda for this video would be the players that I would have gone for in the wildcard draft. We will be building a wildcard draft using my team and obviously the budget that I have. Now, some of you might have similar budget to me. Some of you would be ahead with the budget. Some of you would have obviously already pulled the wildcard and be aware of the prices, and you have caught the prices early. Now, I will let you know what are the picks that I could have gone for if I was using the wildcard in this game week, obviously the game week 9. And before that, I'll just show you what my points are. And if you look at that, what I did score in game week 8 was 57 points. Salah, obviously with the captaincy armband, resurrected my side, and the wildcard that I'm happy, it returned me when a lot of managers obviously ended up game week 8 before the international break with a red arrow. I'm happy that I got to see a green arrow this whole season. Areola with 1 point, Shar with obviously 1 point, Udogi got me 6 points, which was a very good one, and then obviously Cash was disappointing, Diaby was disappointing, Son was disappointing because a lot of people captained him and they were very angry when they saw him being subbed out. Madison got the assist for the only goal, and obviously after that there was a red card in that game. Salah, a big differential with the armband, got me 30, Archer with just 2, Julian Alvarez with just 2, and Haaland with just 2. So a couple of returns in the team did get me to where I am now, and this is what happens when you play with the differential. Salah is obviously a differential in this game. The rest of the managers went up with Son, and some of them went with Haaland. Now, if you see that this game week I decided to bench Turner, he obviously got 6 points, not me. He was on the bench, so those points wouldn't count, but he got 6 points, and Areola got 1 point. So yeah, this happens. This is what FPL is all about. Now, if we go back to the DRAFTHOUND planner, I'll just make things easier for you. We'll be picking up players from the player ranking, putting them into the side, and I'll tell you that what the wildcard draft would be if I was hitting the trigger right now. Areola, I think, is a good option to keep in your goal, and alongside him it is Turner, who is going to be partnering up for me if I was using the wildcard, and obviously this is what I have in my team too. If we look at the points that Areola got, so in the last 5 game weeks, you can see that he got 2 points, 4 points in a game versus Man City, then obviously 6 in the Sheffield game, 2 versus Liverpool, and disappointing one in game week 8. But you can see that he has returned points in intervals, and in a game versus Man City, he got 4 points. So when he does make a lot of saves, he's going to get you points, and it is not a bad one that he got. Like, if you take out his game week 8 fixture and you look at the points, it is at 14 points in last 4 games if you standard game week 8. So I think that this is pretty, all right with the amount he's being offered at 34.8% of managers have already selected him. And if you look at the premium goalkeepers, they are not even returning good points and similar points. So I think, instead of going for Ederson and freezing the money at the back, I think this is pretty odd. Ederson, I think, has ended up losing the clean sheet in the previous 2 games. So I think this is a good option to go for at 4.2 million. And then obviously you can spend the budget elsewhere in the attacking prospect, and obviously in players like Diaby, Madison, Son, or obviously go for Watkins up front. So I think this is a good option. He's a good option, and he's got some good fixtures coming up. Brentford could be a good one for the save points. Everton could be a good one for the clean sheet. Nottingham Forest, and obviously Burnley. This is obviously Aston Villa, a tough fixture. This is going to be a tough fixture, but the rest of them are very good one. If you look at the expected points in those games, 2.3, 3.1, 2.5, 3.2, and 3.1, you can expect at least 4 points in these games, like in game week 10. Let's say he won't keep a clean sheet in that one, then obviously game week 12 and game week 13, and obviously there is a chance of a clean sheet in that game. So I think this is a good option. Areola is a good option to go for on your wildcard, who's a very cheaper option. And obviously Turner, he can come in when you want to play him, but I assure you that it is by total luck that he'll keep a clean sheet. He did that versus Chelsea, he did that versus Crystal Palace, and game week 7 he did get an additional point. But apart from that, he has not been very fascinating, but still a good bench filler, a good option when you in the blank game weeks, or when Areola is not going to feature. Or he has got a really tough fixture, and you can bring Turner in just like he did versus Crystal Palace and get 6 points in that game. Now looking at the defense, there are a lot of people going for a lot of options. Now if you want to go for let's say Trippier up in here, you can do that, and you can go for Trippier. Just don't look at the budget as of now, and let me hit the wildcard here. I'll fix that when we talk along, and obviously I'll let you know if you don't want to go for Trippier, you can go for other options. Now talking about Trippier, he's got attacking returns in the previous games, and obviously 6, 12, 18, 8. These are some amazing points, and I know that none of us would want to miss out on these points. Now attacking returns in these games, and he's back in his original form, so I think he's a good pick. Obviously a much expensive option in terms of the defenders that we have, the other defenders that we have, but I think one could look at this option and downgrade a spot in the midfield, because Trippier has been consistent, and the set of fixtures that is coming up is very, very exciting, apart from the Arsenal one obviously, but there is a high probability that he might just end up keeping the clean sheet in that game, because obviously both the teams are obviously in Champions League, and the fatigue does come in, it kicks in. Now there is a probability of him scoring in the game versus Crystal Palace. The assist is 37%, total goal involvement is 34%, and obviously the expected points are pretty nice if you look at the fixtures that he has. So I think Trippier is a good option, and you can downgrade downgrade a player in the midfield and go for Trippier to cover that Newcastle defense and cover those attacking returns that he's consistently providing as of now. Then Udogie stays in. Not going to talk much about Udogie, but at 4.7 million, I think you're getting one of those players who has a tendency to provide attacking returns, and obviously he's going to cover those Spurs clean sheet if there are any in games like Fulham and Crystal Palace. You can expect a clean sheet in the game versus Crystal Palace. He did get one in game week 8, and before that in game week 4, I think he had an attacking return. So I think in between that there were none, but the expected points are pretty alright with obviously the price he's being offered at. Now cash comes in. He has been disappointing in some games, but the reason why I picked him and I would continue to have him in my side is that we've seen him. He's playing that very attacking role. He is very forward. Sometimes he's up front, sometimes he's in the box, even in the box, and he did get a couple of chances. He did score a goal too, and he did get a couple of chances in previous few games where he could have scored goals. So I think cash here is a good option, and then obviously he is usually among the attacking returns. So I'd be happy keeping cash onto my side. He obviously was awful versus Wolves, but that I won't use that to judge him. If you look at the fixtures before that, he did provide returns. Obviously, 6 points in game week 7, 6 points in game week versus Chelsea. If you go a little back, he was a little bit awful, but before that, but after that, he did, get 12 points. So you can expect points from him. And if he, continues to blank, even though the fixtures are pretty nice, West Ham is going to be a little tough one. But after that, the fixture set is looking pretty all right till at least game week 12. But if you do, if you see him that he's not giving that or giving those attacking returns, not completely getting onto the expectation that you had with him, you can definitely take him out before the Spurs fixture, because I'm pretty sure that all of us are going to be banking the transfer for at least a couple of game weeks and using them in, obviously, with the 2 free transfers in game week after, or probably just one in that game week after the wild card. That is DM. So you can get rid of him in game week 13 if you want to. Now, this is what a defense line would look like. I'd obviously downgrade Kabore, and what you can get in is either get Tariq Lamptey, or there is one from Burnley. Can't remember his name exactly. He's a very cheap option. If I go, just put the filter here. Yeah, he's Taylor. So I can get Taylor in here and get rid of Kabure. So it would give me 0.1 million more to add here with negative balance already. If you look at the midfield, obviously I also have Zuma. That is the guy that I would be keeping, because we obviously if we are going to downgrade a midfielder, we would be needing at least one playing player on the bench in case any of them are benched or injured. So I would be keeping Zuma, and he wouldn't be getting out of the side. So these are my 5 defenders. And the same is with Zuma, like I talked about Ariel and some of the games like Everton and all those easy fixtures, relatively easy fixtures that we talk about usually, would be those games where you could play Zuma as an additional player with Areola for the clean sheet if there is any. Now, Diaby could be a good option, but you can get rid of Diaby, and if you have to keep the bank, you either can keep Diaby and get rid of Trippier and go for someone like Dan Burn, or keep Trippier and downgrade Diaby. Diaby obviously has some good fixtures coming up, so I did keep him, and I would be keeping him in a longer run. But you can do an alternative thing, and if you downgrade Diaby from your side, Anderson is the most fitting player you can bring in, not this one. Get Anderson in here instead of Diaby and bench him for Ward-Prowse. So Anderson is going to be the bench filler with Trippier into the side, and he has obviously enabled me to get the bank. There's 1.4 million in the bank now, and then I can make the last transfer that I wanted to, obviously showcasing you the wild card. Ward-Prowse has some good fixtures coming up. Ward-Prowse was among attacking returns. He has got the set piece threat. Now, he has been awful in the previous 3 games, so that is one thing that not a lot of people would be agreeing with me here, but I think the set of fixtures coming up is relatively easy than the fixtures he has played, and I think, you can expect some of the set piece threat, some of the assists from him in the upcoming games. Obviously, Bowen is an expensive option. With Ward-Prowse at just 6.3 million, you can cover those attacking returns in the games of West Ham. Obviously, he is the kind of guy who is going to be constantly doing those long balls, doing those crosses, and with the set piece threat, he is going to be there at some point with some attacking returns. Son and Maddison stay in with the good fixtures, still, the good fixture run still in there. Son has been a little disappointing, but we've seen that he has been providing attacking returns this season. He has been among the goals, and I would continue to trust him for at least the next 3 or 4 game weeks, even if he starts blanking. Obviously he blanked in the last one. He blanked. If he blanks in Fulham, I'd still give him the fixture till Chelsea one, and then we look at the other options to bring him. Obviously, there are a lot of good midfield options that you can get into your side. Obviously, Son at 9.3 million and Maddison at 8 million. The Spurs duo stays in. The attacking returns is all we want from them, and Salah is going to be the constant guy, because if Haaland is not going to be the constant captaincy option, who are you going to go to? And then there is none other than the consistent Mohamed Salah. He has been consistent this season. Only the game week earlier, I think, before game week 8, he blanked. But before that, he has been very consistent. 8, 10, 10, 1 in that one. He got a yellow, I think, and then 15, obviously. So, and the expected points you can see is very, very fascinating. The expected points coming up are very good for Mohamed Salah. So he is a contender for the perma captain, like he used to be in the previous few game weeks. Now Archer is a bench filler. Obviously, I wouldn't suggest you play Archer in that game, and if you want to, you can still just go with Archer, or just you can play Zuma if you want to. But I will just keep Archer into the side and not look at other options. And then obviously Alvarez. With Archer, obviously at 4.5 million, you're getting a player who is a constant starter. He is playing games, and obviously he is featuring. None of the next few fixtures are very easy ones, but yeah, this is what it is with the bench filler kind of thing. And now with Julian Alvarez, you can keep Alvarez, but obviously if you've got taken out Diaby from your side, Watkins is the guy you should go for. Now Haaland, Watkins, Archer, and then obviously Ward-Prowse, Son, Madison, Salah. I'm playing Archer versus Man United because there is still a possibility of Man United being leaky in that game, and I'm hoping that Archer does end up attacking, providing some attacking returns, hopefully. But Trippier, Udogie, Cash, and then Areola. Now, this is what is the gist of the wild card. I have 0.2 million in the bank to spare, and I can go for somewhere else. But this is a little bit restriction here with Zuma. Obviously, you can go for if you do not agree with me, you don't want to go with Zuma. What you could do is we can go for Burn here, but this will be a lot of reliance. And now he's 2.1 million more. So now this is a lot of reliance on the Newcastle side, and even if you play a double up, there is no guarantee that both of them would be keeping clean sheets. Obviously, there is no guarantee that Newcastle will be keeping clean sheets in every game. And then, like obviously with Burn, he's a centre back. Trippier, you can still expect attacking returns from him. You cannot expect attacking returns from Burn. So the expected point is obviously a little lower, as you can see, in accordance to Trippier. So. And obviously, at some stage, if you want to go for Isaac or Wilson, you will be very restricted with Anderson, Burn, and Trippier already in your side. And this allows you a lot of bank if you still have the same squad value as me. Now, alternatively, what we could do is just keep Burn into the side, get rid of Trippier, go for Zuma in here. Okay, that would give you 2.5 in the bank. And relatively, what you could do with that money, you can keep Diaby into the side. You can easily afford Diaby, and that I think would be a much better option with a stronger bench and players that do feature in games. Now this is a proper 3-5-2 setup with Diaby and Watkins covering the Aston Villa attack, Ward-Prowse covering you the West Ham attack, the Spurs trio in the side, Udogie, Madison, Son, Salah obviously with the captaincy armband, and then Burn, Udogie, and Cash in the defense, and Areola in goal. You can if you want to, you can play Turner here, who's got much better expected points versus Luton. Now this looks like a much better side with you're obviously going to miss out on Trippier, and you'll pray for the clean sheet throughout for Newcastle. But alternatively, you get Diaby, who's got good expected points, and then obviously he has a much better chance of giving you those attacking returns. Obviously, Ward-Prowse is going to be in your side. Now this is what I would suggest if I was going to play the wild card. I would keep Dan Burn instead of Trippier. That would give me much more enability that would give me much more diversity in the midfield, and obviously some attacking midfielders, some good attacking midfielders, and I can easily go for Watkins and Haaland to up front with 0.3 million in the bank. Now this is somewhat a sketch of the wild card that I would have gone for. 95%. This is the sketch of what the wildcard would have looked like if I was using it right now. So this would be my wildcard draft. Let me know what changes you could have done in here. And obviously, I will be back next week with my transfer selection, my team selection. And then obviously, at this stage, I just want to burn the 2 free transfers. But I wouldn't be doing that because that is a big crime with obviously that from where I bounced back. So I will be, making some customizations in my plan. I will be looking at, tweaking around and looking at things and looking at players who I can bring in. So as of now, this is what my wildcard draft is looking like. Let me know what changes you could have done and let me know what more players could be the differential diamonds that you are looking at. And currently this is it from my side. Thank you all for watching. Do subscribe and do like the video if you enjoy the content that I post. I will be back with the Premier League video. The Champions League fantasy is going to continue and the Bundesliga fantasy is going to continue. So yeah, thank you all for watching.